Why do we hold on to our pain? Why do we wrap ourselves in it like an old, worn out coat, even when it doesn't fit anymore? Even when it smells like the past and weighs 100 pounds? Why, when the door to healing opens, why do we sometimes close it and lock ourselves back in the dark? Well, it's simple. I call it addiction to staying broken. Before you flinch, before you say, that's not me, just sit with me for a minute. Because I think it's you, it's me, it's kind of all of us. I know, it's been me. Healing sounds like the goal, doesn't it? Everyone talks about it. You need to heal. You need to, move on. You need to let go. And they are not wrong, but nobody talks about the quiet terror that comes with actually getting better. Nobody warns you that brokenness after a while stops feeling like a wound and starts feeling like home. Think about it. If you have been in pain for years, real pain, the kind of that reshapes your personality, you don't just have a problem. You become it. The trauma becomes your biography. The depression becomes your lens. The heartbreak becomes the story you tell yourself and anyone who will listen. I'm not the one who was abandoned. I'm the one who never got a fair shot. I'm the one who's been through hell, and that story, as painful as it is, has a strange, seductive comfort. Because at least it's a story, at least you know who are in it. But who are you without it? That's the terrifying question. If you heal, if you let go, if you stop being the broken one, who feels that space? What if there's nothing there? What if the pain was the only interesting thing about you? What if without the heavy story you are just ordinary, empty and boring? So, you stay. You stay broken because at least broken gives you an identity. At least broken gets you sympathy. At least broken lets you off the hook. You don't have to try because trying is for people who haven't been through what you have been through. You don't have to risk because the world already proved it will hurt you. Brokenness becomes a fortress, a warm, dark fortress where no one can expect too much of you, including yourself. And there's another layer, a more hidden one. Pain can be a currency when you are broken. People pay attention, they care for you, they ask if you are okay, they treat you gently. And if you have been starved out of attention your whole life, if no one ever noticed you when you were fine, then being broken becomes the only way to be seen. You learn deep in your bones that suffering equals love. So you suffer. And you keep suffering because the alternative is being invisible again. And that's a different kind of death. I caught myself doing this, staying in a sad mood longer than necessary because there was something sweet about it. Replaying old wounds like a favorite song, fishing for the sad though on a good day because the good day felt suspicious, felt like I didn't deserve it. Addiction is real. It's a warm bath of familiar pain. And getting out of bath, it feels freezing. It feels exposed. It feels like betrayal of yourself, of your story, of the version of you that everyone knows. But here's what the addiction costs. Staying broken doesn't just protect you from future pain. It suffocates you slowly. It becomes a cage with bars made out of your own history. You stop growing, you stop risking, you stop being fully alive because aliveness requires letting the wounds close. And healed wounds, they are not as dramatic. They don't make for good stories at parties, but they allow you to move, to run, to hold someone, to feel something other than dual echo of yesterday. Healing is not a betrayal of who you were. It's not saying the pain wasn't real or that you are over it. It's saying the chapter was true and it shaped me, but it doesn't have to be the entire book. You can honor your pain without building a home inside it. You can tell a new story, a story where you're not just a survivor, but someone who's just learning slowly to thrive, and that's terrifying because, growing up means responsibility. It means no more excuses. It means facing the world without the shield of your trauma. But it also means freedom. So if you're sitting there wrapped in your old heavy coat, I'm not going to rip it off you. That's not my place. I'm just going to ask you gently. What would happen if you took it off for 5 minutes, not forever, just 5 minutes? What would you feel? What you, who would you be actually? That's a question. The answer might surprise you. It might not be emptiness. It might be a version of you that's been waiting underneath, quiet and patient, ready to live again. And if you don't know how to take the coat off, if it feels soon in your own skin, at least try. Try. Just go on. We all have one shot. So that's what I'm saying. Pain is like an addiction when you are getting used to it. Thank you for listening, mate. See you around.